Hi, my name is Kathy. I'm 60 years old and I have breast cancer. I have 7 children and I have 8 grandchildren, and I've been married for over 28 years. I've been searching YouTube for someone like me that's 60 years old and is about the same size as I am that has breast cancer. And I haven't found anybody like me, the same age as me, on YouTube that has breast cancer that explains what they've been going through. So I thought I would help somebody else my age on their cancer journey. This is my cancer journey. Finding my lump. During March of 2022, I was taking a shower and I felt a lump on my right breast. I then called my doctor so he can schedule a mammogram for me. As I was at my mammogram appointment, I told them I felt a lump, and they referred me to have a diagnostic mammogram and ultrasound. So I never had the regular mammogram. I left the building and I let my doctor know that I needed to have a diagnostic mammogram and ultrasound, in which they scheduled, and I went in. My diagnostic mammogram and ultrasound. As I went in for my appointment for my diagnostic mammogram and ultrasound, they called me back in a room, and it was a different type of mammogram machine. I think it was a 3D machine, or was a machine that can detect if you have breast cancer a little better. It could see the images better. So the gal that was in there that took the pictures of my breast says if she sees anything on my breast, that she will call somebody else in to verify, and then they will take more pictures of that breast. Well, she found something, and as she went to call somebody in to verify that there was something on my breast, and so she could do more pictures, I stood back and I looked at the image that was on the screen, and I saw a white dot that was kind of like jaggedy, and it was something there. Not sure what it was yet, but it looked like something. And so I went they did extra pictures, and then I went in for my ultrasound. And as I did my ultrasound, the young lady doing my ultrasound said, okay, I'm gonna have the doctor look at these ultrasound results, and then we'll get back to you. She came back into the room and asked me if I had anybody here with me at the appointment, and I told her yes, my husband, he's sitting in a car. And she went to the car and she got him, and we waited in the room together while the doctor was looking over my images. And he came in and he said, now, I don't like to say the C word. I like to say, we can help you, or some type of wording like that. He said, get help or heal. You will healing. I don't remember what he said, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, he says that they saw something, and that I will definitely need to get a biopsy of my right breast and the lump. And he says that more likely it is what he's thinking. He's saying that I may have to have chemotherapy. He's saying that I may have to have a surgery to remove it, and radiation. And I'm like, oh, what is he saying? I mean, I don't even know what he is saying, because he never said the word cancer. Never to me. So my husband and I got in the car and I asked him, so what is he saying? Is he saying I have cancer? And mind you, this is just before my 60th birthday. So I went on my kids planned a really big party for my 60th birthday, and we went to the beach and we had a really great time. And all this time I'm thinking about, do I have cancer? Is that what he was saying? My breast biopsy. I went in for a breast biopsy in the same place that did my imaging for my mammogram, my diagnostic mammogram and ultrasound. And they made me as comfortable as they can be. They asked me, what kind of fragrance would you like? What kind of music would you like to listen to? Is it too hot, too cold? They were trying to make me as comfortable as I can. The doctor numbed my right breast about 3 or 4 times to get it numb. And then he inserted an instrument. I'm not quite sure what it looks like, but he inserted something and it kind of sounded like this. As he took the samples out of my mass that I had in my breast. And he said he got 3 really good samples and that I won't have to come back and have it done again. And so after he did that, he put what they call a marker inside of my tumor. And had me go and had a mammogram done to see if the marker was in the right place. It was. They told me I would find out about my biopsy in 3 to 10 days. And so, mind you, it was a Friday, so it was going to be even longer than that, I'm suspecting. But anyways, the longest week I ever had. My cancer diagnosis. I was at work and I get a call from my doctor's office. And the lady on the phone was saying, hey, I was just wondering if you could come in on Monday. Mind you, it was the longest week I ever survived, because now it's Friday again and I'm wondering what's going on. I haven't heard all week. And so I was thinking maybe there's just nothing. But when the phone call came in, I just like, I got kind of nervous. So they asked if I can come in on Monday, and I can hear my doctor in the background saying, no, why don't you see if she can come in tonight? And I'm like, okay. So the lady asked me and I said, yes, I can come in tonight. And so I called my husband and told him that we needed to go in after I got off work. So we got to the doctor's office and he sat there, and I had surgery July 1st, 2021 on a torn meniscus. And so he was asking me questions about my knee. And I was thinking, back in my head, it's like, why is he stalling? And so, and then he said, I have something to say and it's not good. He says, the biopsy came out positive that you have breast cancer. He was staring at me, my husband was staring at me, and the lady in the office was staring at me, and I didn't know how I was supposed to react. I didn't know if I was supposed to sit there and cry. I didn't know what was I supposed to do. I didn't know if I was supposed to run out of the room with great emotions. I didn't know what I was supposed to do, and so a tear came out of my eye, and my doctor told me to take off my mask, and I took it off, and I just started crying. And he came up and he hugged me, and then my husband came up and hugged me, and told me that he was going to send me to the best cancer doctors that he knows, and I will be good. And the first doctor he'll want me to see is a surgical oncologist. So I met up with my surgical oncologist, and he was pretty amazing. And he came in there and he told me, well, yes, you do have cancer. Let's do an ultrasound and see what we need to do. He told me that I was ER and PR positive, HER2 negative, and that it was a very treatable cancer. He wanted to look with an ultrasound at my cancer to see if he could see it and check to see my surrounding lymph nodes. So he was looking at the lymph nodes and he said one looked kind of suspicious to him. So he wanted me to not only, whatever surgery I decided to have, he not only wanted me to, take the cancer taken care of, but he wanted at least 3 lymph nodes looked at. He asked me if I wanted a mastectomy or a lumpectomy, and I had already thought about this, and I told him I I want a lumpectomy, and that's my decision. I don't want to have any. I don't want to remove my breast. That scares me. And so he said, okay, we'll schedule you for a lumpectomy. And then I needed to go for a breast MRI. At my breast MRI, I was there waiting for a little bit. I got into the room, I undressed from the waist up, and they put an IV in me, and because I had to have that dye put in, a contrast put in me, and so after all that was done, I climbed up on the table to lay on my stomach, and there is this thing that just had like a thing that had like a, for like, let me just see, it was like this with a hole and a hole, and it was, you know, but it was like, this was like where my breastbone was gonna lay on, and it had a little bit of cushion on it, but after a half hour, that cushion was very painful. So what as I do is I climb up on the thing, I lay down, and your boobs kind of just drape into the thing, and you're laying down flat, and your head's on a little thing, a little cushion, and after 30 minutes of that pressure all on your breastbone, it was very painful. I was listening to the bang, 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 all those kind of noise just to get my mind off of it and try to make jokes in my mind like, oh, I'm in a Star Wars movie, and just to get my mind off of you know, the pain that was right here. And I was told if I move, they'll have to do it all over again, and not me. I'm not gonna do that over again. That was painful. That was the worst type of anything I ever had to do. I also had to have a bone scan because my back was hurting me, and certain types of joint pain or bone pain. They didn't know if it was bone or joint, and so they wanted to make sure. My MRI came out. It told them that my cancer was 2.4, and it said that my bone scan came out normal, so I don't have bone cancer, because this breast cancer can spread into your bones. But then that leads me to my lumpectomy. So my lumpectomy was scheduled for August 12th, 2022. And my husband and I decided that since we lived about an hour and 45 minutes away from the hospital that would be doing the procedure, that we'd get a hotel the night before. So I had some of my kids came down to see me the night before. I had friends call and pray with me. You know, so my mood was pretty good going into this. And then, you know, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't, you know, scared that anything bad was going to happen. I got to the hospital the next morning. When I woke up, I took a shower because they want you to shower first. They don't want you to put any lotions or any deodorant on, and they don't want you to shave your armpits. So I got to the hospital about 7:30. They checked me in. They put this dye in my nipple. They said it would hurt. I didn't feel anything but a pinch of the nipple going in. So I did really good with that. And then they wheeled me into the waiting room for my surgery. Once they called me back, my husband was no longer to stay with me. He had to go do whatever he's gonna do while I'm having surgery, like shop or something, I don't know. But once I was back in the room was like, they had a whole bunch of beds in there, and there was curtains that separated the beds. My nurse came in, she put an IV in me, and then the anesthesiologist came in, and he says, your blood pressure is quite high. Do you have high blood pressure? And I'm like, no, I don't normally have high blood pressure. I go, and it's weird because I'm not really nervous. The only thing I'm worried about is the anesthesia. And he says, well, I'm here to help you. So I let him know that I normally get really super sick when I come out of anesthesia. I have a hard time waking up. My blood pressure drops, and my oxygen level goes really low as well. So I was letting him know that, and that if I have nausea and I start vomiting, I wouldn't be able to stop. So he says, don't worry, I can help you with that. And I'm like, okay. So anyways, I went for my lumpectomy, and I don't remember ever talking to my doctor, but I came out of the lumpectomy, and I remember leaving the hospital, just, you know, I didn't stay in the hospital overnight because it's outpatient. So on the drive home, I remember being so sleepy and tired. I had nothing on me that was holding me in or anything. It was just, had this lumpectomy, and that was it. And found out I was supposed to put on a sports bra right away, but I didn't get that message. So anyways, I got home, and my kids were there, made dinner for me. I don't even remember when they left, but they left. I must have been sleeping. But all in all, the surgery went very, very well. I want to let you in on my incision scar. This is the type of sports bra that I wore after I had my lumpectomy. It's a little zipper that has this little thing that goes over here, and a little capsule under here, and it zips up. It was kind of hard for me to get it together to zip up at first because I was in pain in my right arm, under my armpit and my boob. But anyways, my incision scar looks really nice. I mean, you can't complain. Look at that. That's my incision scar. It's like, you know, like 5 inches long, where they were able to take the lymph nodes out and the cancer out at the same time. My cancer is, at that time, measured 2.6 centimeters. I am a stage 1A, grade 2. That's the type of cancer I have. So I started showing some denting in my breast, and I just thought it was me healing. I called my doctor up, because my surgical oncologist up, because my breast felt really, really lumpy and hard, and it hurt. It was really painful, and so they told me to come in, and the PA for my doctor drained what she called a seroma, and I went home, and it felt a little better, but I still had, like, it felt very lumpy in areas and hard in areas as well. And I noticed I started getting bruising on my breast in another area. But after having a lumpectomy, my whole boob was bruised, but this was new bruising. So I met up with my medical oncologist to find out my treatment plan. So since my cancer was stage 1A, it was 2.6 centimeters. My oncotype was very low, it was 11, so I don't have to have chemo. I was so happy I didn't have to have chemo. I'm petrified of chemo. I don't know why I am, but I am. My hat goes off to anybody that has to have that. That is like such awful stuff. But anyways, so she told me all I have to have was all I have to have was radiation, and then I would need to take the aromatase inhibitor, which, because I'm already post-menopause, and which will be an anastrozole. So I'll be taking that after my last day of radiation treatment, and then the next day I could start taking it. So that was with her experience. She did notice I had more denting of my breast, but she figured the radiation oncologist will look at it. So I went to go see my radiation oncologist. I get there and she's looking at me, and she's getting a brief history of what I did and what my lumpectomy and what the medical oncologist was saying to me, what I understood her saying. And then she wanted to check my breast, and she's like, "Why do you have so many scars?" And I'm like, "Well, no, I just have one 5-inch scar and one little inch scar underneath." And she goes, "No, why do you have so many scars?" And I wasn't understanding. And she says, "You know, you have a lot of scars. Your medical history, tell me the illnesses you have." And I said, "Well, I was diagnosed with mixed connective tissue disease, but my rheumatologist that I'm now currently seeing says he doesn't believe I have mixed connective tissue disease. He thinks I either have scleroderma or Sjogren's syndrome or another type of connective tissue disease." So we're in the process of getting that diagnosed. And so she said, "What's his phone number?" And I gave it to her, and she went off, and we were in the office for like 45 minutes waiting on her to come back. And she came back and said, "I spoke to your rheumatologist, and he says you do not have Sjogren's syndrome, but he couldn't rule out scleroderma or another type of connective tissue disease, which could be causing the dents in my breast." And this is the dents that she's referring to. My scarring is what she's concerned with. These are not cuts. These are actually the dents that are going in my breast. I also have one here that I can't really show you all that well. This is my incision. So it came right between my incision and my nipple. And she says that with that type of scarring, radiation, she doesn't believe would be good, and that she wants me to go see my surgical oncologist immediately to schedule maybe a mastectomy. Because she says that I can't have radiation treatment because that would cause issues. So I went and saw my surgical oncologist, and he told me the same thing she said. I'm not a good candidate for radiation because with the scarring that happened, we don't know why it happened. Like, it could have been from the connective tissue disease. It could have been that I had a lot of tissue removed from my breast. But in other ways, it doesn't matter. But if the radiation hits it, it would cause more scarring. And there'll be stuff that they won't be able to take care of or remove, and I'll be in pain for the rest of my life. And she says she wouldn't do that to me, which is nice and amazing. So I opted to get a mastectomy, which I really didn't want, but my boobs deformed anyways now, so I'm gonna go meet a plastic surgeon. The plastic surgeon that I met was very, 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 very nice. He gave me different options of ways that I can go. I told him that I would like to have reconstruction with silicones added in, and he said, and also on my left breast he would do a breast lift, and then he said that he would do the surgery immediately after my surgeon removed my breast, and I would have the breast lift after my other breast is healed, and so they can match it right. He's not sure, but he thinks they may have to put expanders in me because my breasts have retracted in so much. I don't know if you can see this, but this boob is a lot smaller than this one now. And if I go this way, you could tell how much smaller this one is than that one. See, this is so much smaller. It even, this one's down here and this one's up here. It's almost, I don't know if he said 2 centimeters 2.0 or 2 centimeters or whatever, or 2 inches. I'm not sure, but probably it's a lot more now. I constantly feel pain. I feel like it's being pulled in, constantly being pulled into my chest wall. So I'm going to have surgery for that. I don't know why, brain fog. Frog. Anyways, I'm gonna have surgery for my mastectomy on November 1st, 2022. So this is a new thing for me. I'm very nervous about going in and having it done. I pray to God that He continuing to comfort me during this time and protect me, as He is my comforter and He's my protector. And I 100% believe that. 100%. I've not been afraid this whole journey. Don't know if anybody else feels like me. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. So I just let God feel me. Because I don't know how I'm supposed to feel having breast cancer. Do I, it's very hard. It's very hard. So my psychological aspect of it all. My psychological aspect of it all is pretty good. I don't know why, but I'm not afraid. Maybe it's that I just have, like I said, God comforting me, and I just feel everybody's prayers. I feel just the warmth of God. He's my provider. He's my comforter. He's all that and more for me. And I'm thankful for Him every day. I do not know what they're gonna find in this mastectomy, because my surgical oncologist said they could still find cancer in my breast, because I was not able to get the radiation to kill it all. They may have to take it out. I do not know what this means as far as anything else. I've not talked to my medical oncologist yet about it, because I'm like, do I take the anastrozole, or whatever it's called, the aromatase inhibitor? Do I take that? Do I take that now, or do I wait after I have surgery, or what's going on with that? So I have not talked to my medical oncologist about that. So wish me luck for November 1st, 2022. I will definitely bring you all, or bring my phone and record it, and I will post it so you guys can know. I'm hoping I'm helping somebody with my journey. I'm 60 years old, and I know there's just nobody else out there that's, as far as I'm looking, I diligently looked. I found people that are like in their 30s. So I'm praying that I can help you. I cannot give you medical advice. I can just tell you my story and what I did. So if you want to leave any questions below or a comment, feel free to do that. This is just my cancer journey, and I hope I can help you on yours. Till then, till my surgery, stay safe and stay powerful in Christ.